Professional sports teams are some of the most coveted accounts for a porta potty company. They order a ton of units and it's great publicity for your company, but it takes a lot of logistics and a great team in order to get it done. In today's video, we're at Allegiant Stadium with Go Potties, and we're going to be delivering the toilets for the first preseason game of the year. All right, as always, we're getting started a little bit early so we can get everything finished before it gets too hot. The high today is 106, so we're gonna go talk to Elijah and see what the game plan is for today.
Game plan today is to get Raiders on-site drop. That's the main priority. We're gonna clean the units, get them rinsed down, load them up, drop them on the lot, service them, get them good to go to get started for Raiders' first preseason game tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Today, it's 52 regulars, 11 ADAs, and 30 sinks. Off-site, roughly about probably 60. Let's go, baby.
Check out my nice new beanie, courtesy of Go Potties. So when we started to get the toilets prepped, each of us took a specific job. Elijah was cleaning the toilets with the pressure washer. Alvarez was disinfecting and scrubbing them down, and then I was taking out the old paper and putting in the new supplies, making sure everything was ready to go. My one recommendation for the Go Potties team would be in regards to yard organization. I would organize the yard by unit type, so have the ADAs in a specific section, your regular toilets in a section, and then your units with interior sink in a different section to keep everything separate. Then I would also separate things by dirty and clean, so then you can easily take an inventory of how many clean toilets you have, how many are dirty, and what you need to do to prep for the next day. Keeping your yard organized will help streamline the entire prep process and will make it easier to handle big events like this.
My name is Elijah. I'm with Go Potties. It's gonna take us 3 trips to drop all of our Allegiant potties. We're cleaning up, everything's clean, and we're all good, man. Now it's time to get loaded up.
It's only 7 a.m. and it's already hot as hell. Time to get the hat on. Protect yourselves from the sun. No forklift to get all these units loaded, so it really is a team effort. But once we got it done, it was time to do the first load to Allegiant Stadium. So what's the hardest part of delivering a big event like this?
The heat. That's the hardest part.
That's true, because it's gonna be what, 106 today?
Yeah, very hot.
And do you and Alvarez come up with a plan, like who's gonna drop what? Or how do you decide?
We usually take 2 trucks. He drops, I fill water, toilet paper, blue packs, or sometimes we just ride together. It depends how we're feeling that day. So.
And usually it's just you two getting everything done?
Most of the time, our other coworkers are usually on route, or they're usually doing something else with the trailers.
Doing the normal stuff?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're dropping 4 potties in Lot F, and my coworker Alvarez is dropping 8 potties in Lot A.
Also, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Plus, make sure to stick around because after our first load to Allegiant, we're gonna try and get an interview with the man, the legend who runs this operation behind the scenes.
So we just finished our first load. We got 2 1/4 lots done. Got a few more to go.
All right, so we just got back from Allegiant doing our first load. I got some really cool drone footage, but then DHS came up, pulled up, and then told me, gotta land the drone. Took me and I almost got a citation. So at first I thought I might get like arrested or they might confiscate my drone or something like that. So. All right, we're loaded up for round number 2. Goddamn, I am parched. Before we go deliver these, we're gonna stop by the Go Potties office and we're gonna see if Jason's there and he's finally awake. Look at that, he's even got his name on the door.
How you doing, everybody?
Dude,
Yeah.
Jason, what's up with your casting couch?
Well, see, what happened was, in the office.
All right, I'm not gonna do my boy Jason dirty like that. Let's let him give himself a proper introduction.
I'm about to be interviewed, so I have to close my door. Hey, everybody, my name is Jason Mention. I am the Director of Sales and Operations for the one and only Go Potties in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I had the honor and privilege of coming out of retirement, being presented with the opportunity to start a portable toilet company. One of the investors has an amazing person on his team named Daniel Tom, and the investor said, hey, you should fly out here in NorCal with all of your guys to come meet Daniel and see exactly how we do this business. So I had the privilege of having 3 new guys on my squad get on a plane. We go out to the middle of nowhere to some field, and there's Daniel looking at me going, you came out of retirement for this? What were you thinking? Grab this wand, let's start pumping out these toilets. Daniel and I had the opportunity to travel around in one of the trucks, doing a bunch of service calls, meeting a bunch of customers, dropping off, picking up, gave me the whole day in a nutshell of exactly what this business would be like, and it was the most fun I've ever had. It's so funny because this is a job you would think nobody would want, but once you start doing this business, it just gravitates, right? You want to keep doing this over and over again, pumping out toilets, driving around these trucks, meeting customers, and serving everyone's needs. The magic question everybody has is how does one start, or why would one start a portable toilet business? We are in one of the capitals for events out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have the pleasure of servicing Allegiant Stadium, which gives us the opportunity to work with the Raiders, UNLV, and many great concerts that come our way. But we also have the opportunity to work with a lot of the other venues that are here in Las Vegas, Nevada, like T-Mobile, like the Sphere, and other big venues. We also do a lot in the construction space, as in Nevada, Clark County is building far and wide. So we service the needs when things are being built, and then as well as when people have issues at their places, we service their needs to give them portable units for 1 day, 1 week, up to 6 months' time. Our goal is to be the #1 service provider with customer service and having people have the greatest experience if they really have to use a portable toilet company.
Right now!
All right, so today is game day. And before we go into the game, I just want to tell a little bit more of the story about what happened yesterday. When I recorded it the first time, I was a little bit flustered because it just happened. But we were delivering some toilets to Allegiant Stadium and I was getting some drone footage. And all of a sudden, Department of Homeland Security pulls up with their sirens blaring and saying, hey, you gotta land that thing right now. You know, they weren't playing around. So this drone video is actually from when DHS rolled up. Unfortunately, once they started yelling at me to land the drone, I did hit pause and stopped recording, but I think you can see him walking up to me right over there. Luckily, didn't end up getting in any trouble, but they said I could have been cited and had to go to a federal court appearance. After that, I didn't really video too much about the setup because it just put me kind of like out of the zone. So if you couldn't tell already, Jason is one of the best dudes and a good friend of mine, and he had a lot more tips and great answers from the interview that I got with him. So I'm gonna walk around the parking lots. We're gonna see where we place the rest of the units and get some more answers from Jason. How do you land a contract like the Raiders or Allegiant Stadium? It's all about sales. And Jason's one of the best salespeople I've ever met. He can sell snow to an Eskimo. Let's put it that way. So let's see what Jason has to say about sales.
One of the best sales tips for success is thinking from the customer's perspective. That's always a great sales tip. So if someone's calling looking for a portable toilet, this is pretty close to the last thing that they want to talk about. In order to treat the client with the respect they deserve, they first have to start by putting ourselves in their shoes. So the three things that are very basic. Can you simplify things for them? Can you let them know you're the person who's going to make anything happen that they need to get happen? And number three, can you work with them on pricing? Those are the three most important attributes that somebody wants to get on the phone. So number one, to answer that one, they want to know I'm a specialist. Sometimes they think they know exactly how many units they need. A lot of times they're saying, hey, Jason, this is what we're planning on doing. How many do we need? You have to be there in order to give them the information that's going to make them happy. Number two, they're going to want to know day of that someone's going to be on site because things can and do go wrong at events. So they want to know that you're the kind of person who they can trust, who can also pivot and be available when they need them from a customer service perspective. And number three is usually price. So obviously if someone's shopping around for pricing, they're going to be getting very similar quotes in our business because it's not going to be that far off. So what they want to know from you is, hey, is there some kind of package deal you can give me that's going to make me feel good about our purchase? So normally what I do is tell them, hey, listen, most companies are going to say you need 6 of these units. What I'm going to do is say you need 8 of these units, but the last 2 I'm going to discount for you because I want to make your event successful. So in order to do that, I want to give you a couple of them on discount that you just know, hey, I'm getting a good deal on this one, so I'm going to have extra and my event's going to be successful. Simple as that.
God, the green toilets do look good, don't they? You can't have a good tailgate without porta potties. One of the reasons why I like working with Jason so much is because our businesses are just so different. They lean so heavy on events, I can't even imagine how to handle the logistics. A big event for me is just another day for him. So I asked him to tell me a little bit about how they handle it and plan for big events like this. One of their first accounts ever was Allegiant Stadium, which is just crazy to me.
Here at Go Potties, we specialize way more in events than the average portable toilet company that would work 95%, let's say, on construction sites. I would venture to say that our event presence is about 65% of our business. And in order to succeed in that environment, customer service is the ultimate thing you need to have in order to be successful. When you have toilets that are going to be sitting on a construction site for years, 6 months, whatever the case may be, and you develop a route structure where you're going around, that's a very simple way of running a portable toilet business. For us, we specialize more in events. Events sometimes can be 2 days, 3 days, week long, so the logistics and the customer service are the hardest things to master within that space. It is up to my job and my guy's job to collaborate efforts and be able to drop off units wherever they need to be, service accordingly, service at different times, because if you have a nighttime event and you have to service them at 2 in the morning so that you're not interfering with the event itself, those are things that need to be discussed constantly with the client to ensure that the client is happy with you and also be able to get into the lots, let's say, where you can't get in if there's 1,000 people already during an event. Another thing that gets talked about a lot is most people, when they're starting off an event, don't really know what the requirements are or what their needs are. So they're counting on you to be the insightful person that's going to say, okay, well, if you're having 500 people at an event, the normal use is 25 to 50 people per toilet, let's say. On top of that, will there be alcohol at that event? Will it be more male than female? Will there be food served? These are really important things where you have to look up how many are going to be the basic need, but what's going to be another need on the safe side. Another thing about big events is you have different sections. So a lot of times you'll have people parking in one section, being shuttled to another section, food being served in another section. So we have to work with our clients to say, if hundreds of people are coming by car, we need a couple units in this particular area, possibly an ADA unit, possibly a sink. If there's going to be a food section, we like to set up a bank of units so that way people gravitate to a certain section of a venue that's going to have the toilets. So you can clearly see a lot of thought is required and a lot of organization and planning to ensure that customers have the greatest event they could possibly have, and they're counting on you to figure out what their needs are going to be.
All right, it's game time. I'm pretty excited because I've never been to the stadium before. So I'm gonna head in and check it out. And in the meantime, Jason's gonna give you some advice for those just getting started in the business.
If somebody calls me and says, hey, I'm thinking of starting a portable toilet business, what's really good advice, right? One of the first things I'm going to tell them is every single day is going to be an adventure. This is not one of those businesses that's plug and play. This is not one of those businesses where nothing is going to go wrong. Something is going to go wrong every single day. And your attitude is going to dictate how successful you are in this business. You're going to experience truck issues that you're going to have to deal with. I don't even know much about trucks, so I have to have resources of where I can turn to. You're going to have supply issues where something was supposed to be delivered in time and it wasn't, so you have to be able to pivot on the fly. And one of the best pieces of advice after this many years of the business being around, find amazing resources of people who are also in the business who've been doing it for years, because the little key pieces of advice they're going to give you are going to go a really long way. This is a very hard business to start on your own. So hopefully these videos, this channel, Daniel, who could probably help you out, those kind of things, if you have access to them, will really soften the learning curve and save you a lot of trouble. And this is one of those businesses where you get your hand dirty, you don't want to get it that dirty. Ask questions. That was good.
That was really good. And that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Huge thank you to Go Potties and Pat G for the free Raiders tickets. The stadium was awesome, the game was a great time, and it was a lot of fun hanging out with the Go Potties team and getting the event delivered. Unfortunately, I can't stick around for the pickup because that is a whole nightmare in itself. But I know the guys are gonna do great because they have a great team. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.